Your first reaction to these allegations, Michael, that Canadian colleges linked to trafficking of Indian foreign students over Canada-US border?
So I was shocked, but I'm not surprised. There's been, lots of evidence of widespread fraud going on for the last couple of years, and I think they're starting to scratch the surface. And unfortunately, it took Indian authorities to uncover this. It appears. And I think we've been a little bit slow going after it here.
The allegations in their report suggest over 200 Canadian colleges are involved with two separate entities in India. And while these allegations have not been proven in court, Michael, how do you think we here in Canada can investigate this further?
So I think what's been happening is the students have borne the brunt of the investigation, and they get kicked out if they're not going to school or if they overstay, whatever. But there's some bad actors out there, and we have to go after the bad actors. And a lot of them are here in Canada. Many of them are overseas, of course, and there's agencies there that are feeding the people here, and selling these tickets to basically get into the U.S. back door for $100,000 a piece. It's just crazy amounts of money being made here. We have to go after the bad guys, and we have to send some people to jail.
Just wondering, of course, like I said, these have to be proven. But if they are Canadian colleges that are involved in this, what sort of colleges could they be? Could these be some small-time independent institutes, or you think there could be big ones involved in something like that?
So the big part of the problem is they let private colleges form alliances with public colleges and offer degree or diploma programs that were run out of strip malls. And they had the imprimatur of the public college, but they really weren't controlled by the public college. And the public college just made a lot of money off of it. And so they had all these bogus private colleges, a lot of them, and I'm not saying they all are, but there are a lot of them doing that.
Okay.
And just the whole idea was to give people study permits to get into the country.
Now, we are focusing on India because this is a large number of students that have been spoken of that have been coming into the country. But students come into Canada from all over the world. You think there is a possibility of this happening with and extending to other nations as well?
Almost for sure. It's happened also with fake work permits that are, where there's really no job to come to. And we've seen that happening in other countries like the Philippines and China. India is by far the one we're hearing the most about. 80% of I think, international college students in Ontario were from India alone. And the numbers, if you look at it, have just exploded particularly from India. But there's no doubt it's going to be happening from other countries as well.
Is Canada prepared to do more in terms of their immigration laws or screenings if need be? Because after all, these are huge volumes of students that continue to come in.
So part of the problem is the horse has already got out of the barn to some extent, but they now are instituting some cutbacks. They're taking away the public-private college relationship. You have to be now going to a public college to be able to get in. There's a lot more restriction on the numbers, I think we'll see, and we'll see a lot more screening. There's basically no screening because our colleges were dependent on international students when governments cut their funding. And they just become totally dependent on that. So the government said, well, we're turned a blind eye to screening just to let people take advantage, to let the colleges take advantages of the international students' tuition fees.
All right, we leave it at that. Michael Greene, immigration lawyer. Appreciate your time. Thanks, Michael.
My pleasure.
We'll take a